Curious about how websites are made? Stick around and learn the basics of HTML and build your first web page today. I'm Mark from SkillSprints, and I'm excited to guide you through this journey into web development. HTML, or Hypertext Markup language, is the foundation of every website. The language is used to structure content on the web. Today, we'll cover the essential elements of HTML and create a simple web page together. First, we'll need a text editor to write our code. I recommend Visual Studio Code, which is available at code.visualstudio.com. Make sure you download the current version for your operating system. Once you have Visual Studio Code installed, you're going to want to install an extension. An extension extends the abilities of Visual Studio Code. The extension you're going to want to install is called Live Server. I already have it installed on my version of Visual Studio Code. This will let us view our HTML code through a server. We're going to need to create a file where we'll write our HTML. So I'm going to go to the File menu. I'm going to choose New Text File. I'm going to save our file right away as an HTML file. Let's click File and Save As. And I'm going to name this First, since it's our first HTML file, and I'm going to store it in a folder I have on my desktop called HTML Scripts. First.html. The .html extension is important because that's how the system recognizes this file is HTML code. Every HTML document has the same basic document structure. Let's take a look at that code as our starting point. The first line of properly formed HTML is the doc type declaration. This simply indicates that we're coding in HTML version 5. Then we have our opening HTML tag. Notice when I type the opening HTML tag, a closing HTML tag appears. And that's because HTML tags appear in pairs with an opening and closing tags. This will help us create our HTML hierarchy. Every document is divided into two sections. The head section, followed by the body section. In the head section, we have information about the document, like the document's title. This title appears in the browser's tab, or if you bookmark the document, it's the default name of the bookmark. Now that we have our basic document structure, I'm going to save the document. There are actually more complex forms of the basic document structure, but this is all we need for now. We're going to keep things nice and easy. Let's add an image and some text to our HTML page. This is the folder that contains the script that we're writing. You can see first.html in the folder. You can also see a file called logo.png. That's the image file we're going to use. In order to display it, I'm going to use the image tag, img, and then the source is going to be the name of the file, which is logo.png. It's important that when we put an image on the screen, that we use an alt attribute to describe the image. This way, someone with a visual disability still knows what the image is. This image is the SkillSprints logo. Then I'm going to close the image tag. The image tag is an exception to the rule that you have an opening tag and a closing tag. It closes with a shortcut close. That's a slash and then the closing bracket. This will display the SkillSprints logo on the screen. I'm going to use a break tag, which also uses a shortcut close, in order to go to the next line. And I'm going to add a paragraph tag where I'm going to put some text. This is the SkillSprints logo. Unlike the alt attribute, this text will actually appear on the screen below our logo. Now let's save and open this file in the browser. In order to open the file, I can just double-click it and it'll open in a browser. And there you can see our image and text on the screen. Now let's add a hyperlink that goes to another website. This way our page actually does something useful. In order to create a hyperlink, I'm going to surround the text that I want the user to click with the A tag. That stands for anchored. In this case, the word SkillSprints will be our link. Next, I'll put the URL they'll be directed to when they click inside the href attribute. We'll just go to the SkillSprints website. So now you can see the text SkillSprints is surrounded by an opening anchor tag, an href or hypertext reference to the address skillsprints.co, and then you have a closing anchor tag. Let's save our file and open it in the web browser to see how it looks. This is the moment of truth. So I'm going to click File and Save. And since I still have our browser open from the last time we looked at the page, I'm simply going to click Refresh, which will reload the page. Now you can see the word SkillSprints is a link. It's underlined in blue. If I click it, we go to the SkillSprints website. HTML is the foundation of web development, and understanding these basics is the first step towards becoming a web developer. From here, you can start exploring more HTML tags and attributes, and eventually move on to CSS and JavaScript to style and add interactivity to your pages. If you enjoyed this video, we'll have a lot more HTML coming up. I'm Mark from SkillSprints. Thanks for watching, happy coding, and see you next time.